Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Maya, and in today's video we're going to be doing my first quarter wrap up. So every book I read in January, February, March. I actually read 0 books in February. So it's every book that I read in January and March. So it's 11 books altogether. I'm going to give you my honest reviews on most of them. I did not rate one of them, so we'll talk about that when I get there. But we're going to start from the first book I read and end on the last book I read. Now, there's going to be one book in this video that I have not finished yet. So technically it's 12 books, but I think I'm going to finish it before the end of the month. It is currently the 30th, the 31st. No, it's the 30th. Tomorrow is the 31st. So I have a day and a half left to read, and I'm trying to finish one more book. So we'll see. Also, this lighting, awful. So let me see if I can fix that real quick. Okay, I turned the LED lights on because that's the best we're going to get. It looked better though, so that's what we're gonna go with today. Let's get right into this video. I have a coffee still. I filmed this the same day that I'm filming the TBR, so you'll have seen that last week. This is a new week, but same day for me. Let's get right into this. So the first book I read in this year was Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. This is the first book in the, I don't think this, is it the Maple Hills series? Is that what it's called? I think so. I don't know. Either way, I read this. I'm pretty sure I gave this book a 4-star. I really liked this book. Basically, in this book, we are following Anastasia Allen and Nate Hawkins. Anastasia is a ice skater. So she is an ice skater girly. She does figure skating. She's really good at it. She does duo figure skating. And then Nate Hawkins is a hockey player for the school that they're going to. So they're both going to the same college. It's all set at the same college, all the books in the series. Well, all of the characters in the series go to the same college. It's not all set at the college, but you get what I'm saying. These two do not like each other that much. She doesn't like hockey players, like at all. But something happens in the school, and the hockey rink that he plays on gets destroyed. So now, these two, or the hockey, I don't know, one of the rinks, yeah, I think it's his rink gets destroyed. It just says one of them. I think it's his. I can't remember. But a rink gets destroyed. They have to practice on the same rink now. So they're having to share a rink. And then her skating partner gets into an accident of some form, gets injured. He can't skate anymore. So now Nate has to help her figure this whole situation out. I'm trying to read the back to make sure I don't spoil anything. Either way, we're following these two in this book and their romance as it sparks. Obviously, it's a romance book, but we're following their romance as it sparks. I love how Hannah Grace puts in her almost, I don't know if she has anxiety or OCD or what it was in the book, but she is obsessed with planning and having everything set to a specific plan. And I love how the author fits that into her character, and how, yes, it's helpful for her, but at the same time it does cause her a little bit of stress. You know, they talk about therapy in this book, and then him, I think he suffers with migraines, and we talk about that a little bit in the book too. And I love that we talked about those subjects as well as just the fun romance and the crazy stuff that happened. But I gave the book 4 stars. I'm pretty sure. I did enjoy my time reading that. That was my first read of the year. And then I read Cinder by Marissa Meyer. This is the first book in the Lunar Chronicle series. I think it's a 4-book series altogether, and then there are a couple extra books on top of it. I think there are 2 extra books that are spin-offs of it. But we're following Cinder, who is a 16-year-old cyborg and a mechanic. This is a retelling of Cinderella, basically. It's a sci-fi retelling of Cinderella. So we're following her. She lives in New Beijing, and she ends up getting involved with the Prince Kai somehow. There is a giant, I guess, outbreak, plague happening, and she is thrown into a situation with the plague and with her step family, Cinderella, her step family, and then Prince Kai gets involved as well. So I don't want to say much because I don't really know how to say much about this book without spoiling it, but there is a there's a fun side character in this that I loved, and then I gave it a 3-star. it was a fun book. It's definitely young adult, more so younger young adult, like middle school, early high school probably ages. It's got barely any romance in it. There's like maybe one scene. There's like a little bit of tension in it, but there's maybe one scene of actual romance. But I really liked it, and I remember loving the second book in this. I've read this book before. This is my second time reading this one. And then the second book in the series is Scarlet. And I think I like that one even more than this one. I think it has more romance. And then there are two more that I haven't read, so I want to read the whole series. So I started over by reading this, and I gave it 3 stars. It was a good book. Liked my time reading it. And then we went into Nothing Like the Movies by Lynn Painter. I don't have the cover for this book. Don't know where it is. I'm gonna have to find it though. Is that it back there? Oh my gosh, I think it's on that stool. Okay, well, I'll put that on afterwards. But this book, I gave it a 4 star. I'm pretty sure I gave this book a 4 star. I really enjoyed this book. I know a lot of people had mixed feelings on it, and I definitely do understand where those feelings came from. But this is the sequel to Better Than the Movies. And there's always something weird about having a sequel to a romance book. But I think she played off really well with this, because the first one they're in high school, and then this one they're in college. So we're following, I can't really say tropes and stuff because it's spoily, but we're following them in college and their romance, their relationship, how it develops, and how everything happens in college, how college can change people and relationships. So liked this book. I can't really talk about it because, again, it's the second book and it's spoilers, so gave that one 4 stars. And then I listened to, oh, what's it called? Is it The Woman in Me? I think so, by Britney Spears. Britney Spears memoir. I would listen to that one. I loved that. I don't rate books like that though. So that's about all I'm gonna say, is that I listened to that book. I really enjoyed my time listening to it though. And hearing her story was insane to me, because I love music. So I love memoirs. I am definitely a person who's not obsessed, I don't want to say, but like I really enjoy learning about celebrities and their lives outside of just what you see online. And so reading the memoirs from these celebrities is so intriguing to me, to see like what their actual life was behind the scene that you don't get to see as fans. And hers was very heartbreaking, but she did a really good job at writing it. So great book. Now, the next book I read was this one right here, Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. I listened to The Woman in Me and then stopped reading till March when I picked this baby up. What was this? Okay, I have had time to sit on this book. I'm still giving it, I don't think I'm going to do a 5 star anymore. I think I'm going to drop this book down to like a 4.5. So it's going to get a 5 star on Goodreads. It's not a 5 star. 4.5. I enjoyed this book, I will say. I did enjoy my time reading this. It was a good book. Solid read. But my issue is, what happened? I feel like this whole book was a fever dream. Especially the last like 50 pages of this book was a fever dream. Like, nothing was solved. No dots connected in my head. Things just happened. I think the thing that saved this book for me is that I love the characters. So Rebecca Yarros did a great job at writing characters that I am obsessed with. So like I loved getting to just follow them. And I do feel like a lot of people's complaints are valid. It does feel like a very just filler book. But I like watching missions. I like watching adventures. And in this book, they go on a lot of like adventures, mini adventures to like learn new things. Like they're going here to learn this, and then they're going here, and then they're going here. That's what this book is. And I like that. So like I liked the book. I definitely do think it's not as good as the first one, which is why it got a lower rating. But I enjoyed my time reading this. I can't talk much about it obviously because like 3rd book in the series, but I can't wait for her next one. I can't wait for this series, not in a mean way, okay? I don't mean this in a mean way. I can't wait for the series to end so that I can know everything, okay? I just want to know it all. Like, that's the only reason I want it to end, is because I want to know what happens. So, this is book number 3. I gave it a 4.75, I think is what we're going to stick to. Just because it wasn't as good as Fourth Wing, and it didn't give me a 5-star feeling. But this one is still good. So, do recommend the whole series in general. And then I picked up First Time Caller by B.K. Borison. B.K. Borison's my favorite author, pretty much. She's my favorite romance author. If you guys don't know that, I have a whole shrine on my bookshelf to her Love Light Farm series shrine. I don't know where this is going to fit in. Probably won't actually fit into that shrine, but it's okay. I love her so much. So this is her new book that she just came out with for her new series. I don't know what the series is going to be called, so I'm not going to talk about that, but I loved this book. I gave it a 4-star. I had a great time. The characters in this were so fun. I love him so much. Like, he is so amazing. He is pretty much the definition of if he wanted to, he would. Love that man. So basically we're following these two characters. He is a talk show host for he's a radio host for what's it called? Baltimore's Romance Hotline, Heartstrings. That is what he does. He basically gives love advice to people, but he doesn't believe in love. So we're following him, and then she is a single mom, and she is a mechanic, and they somehow connect together, and we get to follow their cute little romance. And I loved my time reading this. Honestly, recommend. Go read it, please. Thank you. Have a great day. Now, next one, The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This one is the first book in the Natural series. I rated it a 3.5. I think we're gonna stick with 3.5. Honestly, it might be higher, maybe a 4. I think we're gonna go with a 4. I loved this book. Oh my gosh, I didn't guess anything that happened. It just happened. Like, what do you mean? And it wasn't I didn't guess it because it's not realistic. I didn't guess it because it just never clicked in my mind. Like, it's something that definitely was there the whole time. I just didn't connect the dots. I don't know if I'm the only one, but I definitely did not connect the dots with this one. Loved it though. Basically, we're following Cassie. She is asked to join this secret little group of teenagers who are a part of the FBI without being a part of the FBI. It's confusing. You'll understand when you read it though. Basically, it's a group of, I think it's 6 teenagers who all have special talents. So she can read people really well. She can read a person, basically guess their whole life. She's a profiler. That's what she does. And we follow her as she joins this group of people, and they solve cold cases. That's pretty much what the whole series is about, is them solving cold cases. So this is the first book. Loved it. Will be reading the second book soon. I have the second one on Libby and the third one on Hoopla, and I will be reading them as soon as I possibly can. And then I feel like in the middle of Onyx Storm and First Time Caller, but I'm not 100%. It might have been in the middle of First Time Caller and The Naturals. I read The Brook by Frost K. It's the second book in the Twisted Kingdom series. I gave it a 2.75. Didn't love it. I really liked the first book. Did not like the second book in that series. Don't know if I will be continuing, so I don't want to talk about it too much. I just feel like it was a major filler book, and I feel like it didn't need to be. I feel like her books are so short. They're 200 something pages for a fantasy book, and I feel like they could have been put together to make one book instead of being a tiny filler book where almost nothing happened. So that's my opinion on that one. I think I'm still going to try the next book. If I still don't like it, I'm going to DNF it, but that's how that book went. And then I read, after The Naturals, I read Catch the Sun by Jennifer Hartman. That book broke me. I gave it a 4.75. It broke me. It destroyed me. It would have been a 5-star, okay? I had one complaint about the book. It felt too, I can't say it without spoiling it too much. Towards the end of the book, it felt too physical. And I know why. I know why she did what she did. But for the book being about, I think they were 17 at the time. They might have been 18. They might have been 18 at the time of this whole thing happening. It felt too physical. And I understand why she did it. Like I said, I get it. It's just not for me. But I gave it a 4.75 because it destroyed me. That book was so depressing, but it was so good. Her writing, top tier. I have so many quotes from that book that I need to write somewhere. And I will be whenever I finish my reading journal. But that book I gave a 4.75. So many trigger warnings. Please look up the trigger warnings before you read that book. It has a lot in it. I don't want you to go read. I don't necessarily recommend it because it is so traumatic. But read the trigger warnings, and if you're okay with it, read it because it's so good. So that's my opinion on that. And then I picked up Crossroads by Devaney Berry on my Kindle. I also don't want to give too long of a review of this one. I think I'm giving this a 2.75 as well. It wasn't awful, but it was too physical. And I think that's something I've learned about myself. I don't care if there's smut in a book. Go for it. Do it. But I feel like I'm the type of person that if the whole book is relying on those scenes, stupid. Now, if we're starting off a book where it's a one-night stand situation, I understand that. I get it. We can move on. But I don't like it when you have to have those scenes to build the relationship. Like in some books I get it, but in most of the time you shouldn't have to read those scenes. I'm the type of person who I skip over those scenes. I do. Most of the time I skip over, I read the dialogue throughout sometimes, and I just move on. I feel like you shouldn't have to read it for it to be like a part of the book, and pretty much probably about 50% of this book is smut. And I didn't like it. It's a very short book too. It's like 200 something pages. And I'll take it back. It's probably not like 50% of the book, but the book is 260 something pages. Probably about 70 or more pages of this book was smut in my brain from what I remember. If I'm wrong, I apologize. I loved Devanny Perry's other series, the Eden series, loved it. And I will pick up more of her books. I'm probably going to pick up the next book in the series. It's just this specific one I didn't like. And I felt like we had no emotional connection to the characters, no emotional connection between the characters. It was just physical. So that's why I gave this book a 2.75. I don't know if I'm going to keep this or not. I probably will because it's a special edition, but I might get rid of it. Not sure. We'll see. But did not love that. And then, did I read anything else? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. I'm missing a book somewhere. What book am I missing? Give me a second. I'm gonna look up what book I'm missing. I can't believe I forgot that one. I read The Fall Risk by Abby Jimenez, and I gave that book, oh, it would be a 5-star. I'm honestly tempted to just give it a 5-star. I gave it a 4.5 because it's only 86 pages long. So like I feel like there could have been more, but like it's only 86 pages long, and that was the goal of the book, was to be short and small and sweet and cute. I loved that book so much. Another book where it is literally the definition of if he wanted to, he would. That man, I loved that book. I read it in one sitting. Literally, well, kind of. I started at the gym after I finished my workout and my friends were still working out. I was reading it while they were finishing their workout. And then I drove home. Well, I drove to my friend's house, sat on her bed, walked and paced her living room and finished it. So, top tier book. Loved that so much. It made me want to dive back into Abby Jimenez's writing because I love myself a cinnamon roll boy. A golden retriever boy. That is my favorite thing ever in a romance. I'm sorry. I love my broody males. I do. Like in the Court of Thorns and Roses, love it. And in like Throne of Glass, you have that more thing. In all the fantasy books, love it. Kind of love it in normal romance too, but like there is something about a cinnamon roll boy that is just so cute. So loved that. Gave it a 4.75. Honestly might just give it a 5-star in general because I loved it. But that is all the books that I've read this year so far. But then I don't have it on me actually. I don't know where it is. Genuinely, probably in my living room. I am in the middle of Heir of Fire. I'm on page like 200 something. I think it's 500 pages long, so I have like 300 more pages to read. But my goal is to finish it before Tuesday. So we're going to see if I can do that or not. Probably won't. Honestly, I have a lot of stuff to do. But I'm going to see how much of it I can read before Tuesday. So I thought I would mention it on here. Don't know what I'm going to rate it though. But if I do finish it, I'll talk about it in my April wrap up or April TBR or something like that. Whenever. But thought I would mention it in this one too, that I'm going to try and finish that. And then if I do finish that, I will have finished my March TBR, which is so cool because, let's see, which books were in my March TBR? Onyx Storm, First Time Caller, The Naturals, The Rook, The Fall Risk, I think that was it, and then Heir of Fire. I will have finished every book on my TBR. That's pretty exciting, but these are all the books that I've read this year, plus the ones on my Kindle and Libby that I cannot show you guys. But so far, it's actually been a pretty good reading year. Yes, I've had a couple 2.75s, but it hasn't been that bad. I think I've only had 2 that I was not the biggest fan of. Otherwise, I've had like 3 5-star reads this year. That's pretty top tier for 3 months. So this is how many books I've read so far. I have read 11 books total this year. That's not that bad. Pretty impressive. Gotta give it to myself because I have been in a reading slump. And I read none of these books in February. They were all in January and March. So hope you guys liked this video. It was just kind of a yappy, sit down, relax in bed type of video because my bookshelves are a wreck and I didn't want to show you guys that. But hope you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe, comment down below what your opinions of these books were as well. if you think I should continue some of these series, because like The Rook, I'm up and down between finishing that series or not. And also just any more book recommendations you guys have. Come on, give them to me. I always want new book recs, but I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day. Bye.